My name is Chris Threed. I'm the basketball coach, but also the English department chairperson. I teach AP Literature and 12th grade English. I'm here to impact the lives of our young people the same way that the generation before me impacted my life. And so we do that through really every class is communication. There are things that people have said and it's conveying that information. As it relates to English, one of the things that we're trying to do is take what has been written and deal with what someone feels and how they convey what they feel. And the way that benefits our students is because all of our students have something to say. And the key is, can I convey what it is that I believe? And so one of the big things that we're doing in their courses is reading material and not just dealing with the material, but really focusing on what someone is trying to say and how they say it. That's important because as our young people find their voices and mature, then they learn that there are different ways to convey what they're saying. And so there are two questions or two elements that we want covered: what and how. What is the speaker trying to say, and how is the speaker saying it? And I think if we learn that in our classes, in our English class specifically, the student is going to know how to form a thesis and how to convey proof that that's what the person believes or is saying. And the same is true in their lives. They have opinions. What is my opinion, and how do I share that opinion with you?
2 words: articulation, comprehension. Talk about those.
Okay. Articulation is, how do I say what it is that I'm trying to share with someone? How do I articulate it? What are the words that I'm going to use? Or the nonverbal cues. So that covers articulation. The second question was comprehension. And when you deal with comprehension, there's one thing for me to say something. There's another thing for you to understand what's being said. And going back to what we said about communication, in the middle of that word are 2 letters, I see. And when you start talking about comprehension, if you don't see what I'm saying, we have not communicated. And so we want to make sure both those things are in place.
How does what you're teaching benefit these students outside of the walls of this institution?
Well, I think that one of the false premises that takes place, especially with seniors, is the whole year is a march to graduation as though it is an end. And the reality is the program says commencement, which means beginning. And so in essence, everything that students do in school up to graduation is leading to the beginning of their lives on their own. And so what we want to do as teachers is not tell students what to think, but make sure that we foster their ability to think. And so what I want to do as a teacher is challenge them to find their own voices and then empower them to use those voices when they leave this building.
Critical thinking, does that apply in your class, and if so, how?
Well, critical thinking, I think, doesn't apply just in my classroom, but in every aspect of the students' lives, because when they parrot what I'm saying, they're not really thinking, they're just trying to make sure that they have my approval in repeating what I'm saying. Critical thinking allows them to break down not just what I'm saying or what the literature is saying, but why that information is important, if they agree with it, if they disagree, if they agree or disagree, why they do so. So all of that comes down not just to looking at material, but how I digest that information and then speak my views on it.
Is there anything that you would like to say as parting words to students who may be viewing this, potential students or parents?
I think a key that I'd like to say is, it's been my experience in my 28 years in Little Rock School District, specifically with the kids in Southwest Little Rock, that they're brilliant. And that's one thing I'd like to share, is that they have wonderful voices that they're developing, just like all of us develop through our lives. And what I have the privilege of doing, and what I want to continue to do, is make sure they know how valuable their voices are, and to watch them and participate in this part of their progress and their growth, because I think that only great things await our students.